Hi there, my name is Miss Caitlin and I am a teaching artist at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're going to be exploring roller coasters and some of the scientific and artistic concepts behind them.
Here is an example of what you'll be making today. Before we step into our role as civil engineer for this project, let's explore some of the science first. The first hill of a roller coaster is usually the tallest and has the most potential energy, or the amount of energy stored, due to the object's height. The amount of energy stored from riding down the first hill will be enough to carry the riders all the way to the end of the track. The taller the first hill, the farther that gravity can pull riders downward. As the cart comes down the hill, gravity takes over. All the built-up potential, or stored energy, now changes to moving, or kinetic energy. The farther down the hill, the faster you go. As the riders go up and down hills, the energy changes from potential to kinetic and back at each hill. Now it's your turn. Let's take a look at what you'll need. Scissors, tape, painters or masking works great, a ping pong ball, a sheet of cardboard, several cardboard tubes of varying sizes, and paper plates. So first things first, you're going to need a cardboard base to build your roller coaster on. You can use a single sheet of cardboard, I would say at least 1 foot by 2 feet, or you can use several smaller pieces of cardboard and just tape them together, like I did. At this time, you'll also want to cut out the outer rim of your paper plates. This will serve as the track for your roller coaster. You can also hang on to the inner circle part of the paper plate, and I will show you what we can use those for later on.
So then our next step is going to be securing our tallest cardboard tube to the cardboard base. You don't need to use a lot of tape because all of these materials are very lightweight, but make sure that your tube is very secure on your base, and you'll just tape it around the bottom there. Now we're ready to start with our roller coaster track. So we'll take our paper plate rim here that we have cut, and you're going to tape it at the top of your first support, and it's going to begin the track. So you can decide at this point what direction is your track going to go, and it will connect to our next support. A quick tidbit for you: if you use your paper plate a little bit more curved, so you're going to be almost folding the paper, you see how it creates that divot right here? It will help to hold your ping pong ball in place, because sometimes paper plates are a little bit more flat, especially as you work with it, it might flatten out. So just make sure that you keep a really nice groove in there for the ball to run down. So once we have our track secured to our first support, we are then going to add our next support. Every time that you add a new paper plate or a new track, I would suggest adding a support so that it is strong and supports where your track starts to curve. So we have gone down to the next size of cardboard tube because of course we want to work with gravity and give space for the ping pong ball to roll downward. Secured our second support, I'm going to take my next track, and you can add it to your track and go whichever direction you want. So we can either go this way, or we can consider going the other direction, which means I'll just take the other end of the paper plate, and see now it's created almost like an S shape with our track, and that gives me a little bit more room to work. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we have our second part of the track. We have our 2 supports, and I've created an S-looking curve on my roller coaster. So at this point, we're going to be taking our next part of our track, and I of course need to start coming back this direction because I'm at the edge of my platform, and we will start with our next level down of our cardboard tubes. If you only have a certain height of paper tubes and you need them to be taller or shorter, you can tape them together to make a taller support, or you could cut it so that you have a next level down. You'll just have to test and see as you go. I would suggest using a ping pong ball from the very beginning and test your track as you progress with your roller coaster. so that you aren't having to go back to the very beginning if you build your entire roller coaster and find a point where the ping pong ball does not stay on the track. Another quick tidbit that I have for you to help you along the way is to take the part of your paper plate that you cut out of the middle. So the edge of our paper plate is our track, and we have that circle in the middle. I would suggest cutting them in half so that you create this half moon shape. And if there is a point on your track where the ping pong ball has difficulty going around a curve and staying on the track, you can use these half moon pieces, tape them on, and it will serve as a wall to help the ping pong ball to stay on the track. So it's got the same idea of like a backboard when you're throwing a basketball into a hoop. So like I suggested, we should test our track before we add on our third section and our third support. So I would at this point take your ping pong ball and test what you already have built. I don't have a ping pong ball handy, but I do have this ball, which is about the same size and weight as a ping pong ball. So let's give it a test and see if it stays on our track. Well, it looked pretty good. It stayed on. It went all the way from the beginning to the end. So I think at this point we can continue to build our roller coaster until the track is all the way down to our bottom cardboard base.
Here is an example of a finished roller coaster built by several of my students.
Next time you're at a theme park or riding a roller coaster, see if you can identify where the potential energy or the kinetic energy is present. And be sure to notice the artistic design as well as the engineering work that goes into building a roller coaster. Thanks so much for joining me today. Be sure to take a picture or even take a video of your roller coaster and post on our Facebook page, School Time at the Van Wezel, #ArtworksAnywhere. We'll see you next time.